Hi everyone, welcome to a new vlog. I hope you're ready for a cozy Christmassy vlog because today I'm gonna be finishing putting together this Christmassy puzzle that I have behind me, which I started yesterday. I will be making gingerbread cookies, but yeah, grab yourself a warm drink and cozy up because this is gonna be a very Christmassy vlog. So I have purchased a few Kindle books for this vlog. I've been wanting to read holiday romances, which actually I feel like every year I like to read a couple as well as some holiday mysteries. And actually today on Amazon, I went to check if they had any kind of discounted books, and they had a few that were already on my wish list. So I have Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh, which I think is a new release about two friends that every Christmas fly to Dublin to be with their family from, I think, America. I'm not sure. And I think there's a storm and one of the characters is trying to get the other one home because the other character really loves Christmas with his family, and so the other one really wants to get them home. But apart from that, I also have Murder for Christmas by Frances Duncan, which I don't know what it is about. I will have to, if I decide to read it, I will let you know what it is about. But I assume there's murder at Christmas time. I've also just started the All I Want for Christmas by Joanna Bellori. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I assume I did. But yeah, and that one is about a guy, like a corporate lawyer in London that loses his job, and because it's around the holidays he can't really find any other jobs, and so he gets a job as a mall Santa. There's this kid that comes up to him and says he really just wants his mother to be happy for Christmas. And so he kind of sets her up with his best friend, but then actually he starts to get feelings for this woman, but she's already going on dates with his best friend. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. I'm literally only 10% in. I think I started it last night. But I am also reading an audiobook, which this summer I read the previous one. It's not really a collection, it's more like companions, I would say. So basically, it's a collection of authors that wrote short stories, but they're all interconnected and they're all set during this blackout in summer in New York. It's all about romance. So you have many different romances all set in this blackout in New York, and they all interconnect. And then this new one that the same authors have written is it's called Whiteout. It's set in Atlanta, and there's this overarching love story which a lot of friends are trying to help these two main characters, but you jump from character to character and they each have their own love story as well. So it's pretty similar, but there's one overarching story that is technically the main one, set in this whiteout in Atlanta this time. I really liked the first one. It was just a YA romance, but really enjoyable, and because I read it on Audible, I would just put it on when I was like going to uni and coming back. But now I put this one on to kind of do Christmassy activities. So for example, building the puzzle or making gingerbread. The other day I put it on when I was wrapping presents, and it's been really enjoyable. But yeah, so those are the books that I would like to read. I also haven't finished Tied Up in Tinsel, which I started on the last vlog, so I have to sit down and finish that one. So these are a lot of books, and it's like a 2-day vlog. So let's see what I can actually accomplish. But these are also the books that I'm planning to read in the next few weeks. So I think I have 3 Kindle books, 1 physical book, and the audiobook. That makes it 5 books, which I think I can easily manage, especially with the Christmas romances. I read romance really, really quickly. It's one of those genres that I can't really put down. When I started, I want to see how it ends, which is actually strange because normally that would be attributed to something like a mystery or crime. But yeah, for me, romance is the one that I can't really put down. So I feel like this has been a quite long introduction. Let's get into the vlog. I will now sit down and finish this puzzle with the audiobook on, and then continue, I guess, with the audiobook. I think I wouldn't be able to read a book while baking gingerbread cookies. So I'm just going to continue with the audiobook, do the gingerbread cookies, and then sit down to read and have a nice cozy afternoon. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Hi, it's a few days later. We've received our Christmas tree and today we're going to be decorating it. So I thought I should film that as well as obviously updating you on my reading. So, starting with my current reads, I was telling you about All I Want for Christmas, Holiday Romance, and maybe a few others. So I have read All I Want for Christmas. Here it is. I thought it was a very solid holiday romance about two people in their 30s. It was cozy. It spanned more than just Christmas. And it was kind of like a romantic triangle, but we didn't really follow like we normally do the main character being loved by two people and having to choose which two. It's clearly not a triangle, but you do have someone else caught in the mix. It's very cozy. I love the characters. The plot is good. It's more a kind of you follow their life throughout this year, but mostly focused on the first Christmas when they meet and the last, a year later, the Christmas when they get together. I would say it's a solid Christmas romance and I really enjoyed it. Now on to, I've been reading Christmas romances really quickly. And I actually have read another one since the beginning of this vlog. Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. This was my favorite. I'm gonna tell you all about all of the other reads, but I have read 5 Christmas romances, and this one and another one that I will share right after this one are definitely my favorites. Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh. Two people that always fly together, have been flying together back home for their separate Christmases with their families for 10 years, and they kind of get together on the way. I thought it was going to focus mostly on the trip, but actually the trip is only half of the book. Then you see the other half is Christmas and after Christmas. I really love the book. The characters are really good. The Christmas spirit is there with jumpers and kind of Christmas shenanigans, and then obviously also Christmas. You not only have the romance, but you also have like family love and sibling love, friendships. It's very wholesome, and you do have sneak peeks into their past flights together, which actually I really enjoyed. So I would say the last one is a 3-star romance. This one is definitely a 4-star romance. Other favorite one of this season was actually The Holiday Switch, the only young adult romance I read. It's very current. It's a very current book. Last year of high school style romance. It's about this girl that has been working at a kind of hotel little shop for a few years, and she's hoping to get more hours now that she's a senior and she's over 18 to save money to then go to college, because she wants to go to an expensive college and her family doesn't have that much money. They're 4 kids, so everything's a little bit tight. She's the first one going to college, so she wants to save as much money as she can to go to college. Her hours get refused because the owner of this hotel, her nephew, is coming to stay for the holidays, and he is going to be working in this little shop. And she gets put in charge of training him even though she actually wanted the hours that he's getting for herself. So you have that little bit of tension. He doesn't really know why there's tension, but it's definitely on her side. It was very good. It was different. I think one of the things I really love about young adult romances is that they have more to life than just work. So a lot of the time in the other romances, you see adults having a job, and or they love their job or they hate their job and they want to change it, and they have kind of a hobby. With young adult romances, you normally have something else. They have obviously school, which they're good at this, or they're good at a few subjects, but they always have hobbies and they have what they want to become in the future, and so you have more interests involved. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was heartwarming and cute, and it made sense, and the banter was good, the characters were good, the setting was magical. So I would definitely recommend another 4 stars holiday romance. Now moving on to some of my other reads. I read 2 from Kindle Unlimited. The Mistletoe Pact by Joe Lovett, which is about 2 people that have known each other for decades, since they were children, and they had a little moment like 10 years ago, but then they really didn't get together after that. And now you see them in the present, grappling with feelings and finally getting together. But it's quite a complex story. So unlike holiday romance, this one, you have full chapters in the past, but in various points in time, as well as in the present. The story line goes from one Christmas to the next. So you not only have jumps in time, but the story is quite a long story. It just gets a bit too much, and it's a little bit too dramatic. I did enjoy it, but I would give it below a 3-star review. I would say maybe 2.5. I thought it was a little bit too long. As I was saying, the chapters got a bit confusing. The story itself is very heartwarming and nice. We also have The Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh. It's another Kindle Unlimited book, and it's about 2 people that have known each other since they were 11, 13. One has been in love with the other since they first met. She got her heart broken by him a few years later, so she kind of moved away, closed all relationships with him, and actually a bit with her family as well. And her sibling is now having a baby, and he has kind of forced her to come home for Christmas because his wife is due around Christmas. And she hates flying because this was kind of a last minute decision. All of the trains and coaches are booked. Very convenient. This guy that she has known her whole life is actually driving home for Christmas. So her brother forces her to go with him. And it's basically the story of them going on this cross-country road trip and then consequent Christmas. It's nice. It's a pretty standard romance. I would say the language used sometimes is a little bit outdated for my tastes. Not possessive, but give a little bit of hints of possessiveness. I would give it below a 3-star, just bordering on a 3-star read. But let's be honest, I feel like every Kindle Unlimited book I read gets around that kind of rating. So now moving on to other romances that I have on my Kindle but haven't necessarily read. I have just started Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, which is about a lady that works at a bookshop, and she gets invited Meet me under the mistletoe. And she gets invited for a kind of wedding of one of her high school friends or something similar, maybe college friends. It's all a bit of a mess. There are tensions in the friend group and she's not feeling very comfortable and ends up kind of escaping to be with this guy that was one of her friends. And he's also kind of feeling a bit uncomfortable in the group and they start a romance. It's not a Kindle Unlimited read, so hopefully it's a bit better than the other ones. But yes, I will now finish drinking my tea, which is probably cold by now. Definitely cold. And I'm now gonna start decorating the Christmas tree, which I'm so excited. And you'll probably be relieved to stop listening to my voice and have some nice music over cozy footage. But yes, perfect. I will see you at the end of this vlog. And thank you so much for sticking through all of this. Welcome to the end of the vlog. This has been one big Christmassy vlog, I have to say. Obviously I did the puzzle and gingerbread and then decorated the house, especially the Christmas tree. And I read a lot of books in this past week. I've talked about the majority, but I would just like to list all of them and my ratings, and finally talk about the last book that I have finished just today. Since the beginning of December, I've read The Holiday Switch by Tiff Marcello, which I gave 4 to 4.5 stars. Then I read All I Want for Christmas by Joanna Ballori, which I have also given the same rating, so 3.5 to 4, more, I would say 4 stars. I then read 2 Kindle Unlimited books, The Mistletoe Pack by Joe Lovett and A Cross Country Christmas by Courtney Walsh, which I gave 2.5 to 3 stars. And more recently, I have read The Holiday Romance by Catherine Walsh, which I gave 4 solid stars. Throughout all of this time, I listened to one audiobook, which was Whiteout by multiple authors, including Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Nicola Yoon, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Danielle Clayton. That was the last one I have finished just today, and I would give it a 4 stars. It's a young adult romance in a whiteout, focusing on Black kids living in Atlanta or from Atlanta. And I really, really enjoyed it. It's, I would say, not as good as the other young adult that I've read this month, but all of the stories are very nice, and it mentions very relevant topics for young adults and teenagers at this time. Were treated in a very respectful way. I really enjoyed it, and yes, as I was saying, 4 stars. Finally, I am reading Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayliss. I'm at 70% on my Kindle, and I have to say, I was not expecting it, but I think this might be my favorite read, depending on the conflict and the final resolution. I think this is between a 4-star and a 4.5. I never really give romances a 5-star read. In general, I just haven't found one that I've loved enough to give 5 stars. But this one, for a holiday read, is, I would say, one of the best ones I've read. Actually, I would say it's the best one. But because I haven't read the conflict and the final resolution, it could still be on par with the Holiday Romance and the Holiday Switch, which were the 2 favorites for this year. But yes, I think that's all. I'm now going to finish reading this throughout the actual Christmas days. You'll be able to check my final rating on Goodreads or Instagram. But I would like to thank you all for being here. I was expecting to do 2 vlogs for Christmas, December, holiday time, but I ended up not being able to finish both of them, especially with how long it takes to edit the videos. So I'm sorry about that, but I hope this one makes up for the lack of video last week. Thank you so much for all of your support. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do all of the things that you have to do on YouTube. Share, like, comment. Thank you very much for being here. And I hope you have a lovely Christmas.